There's only a certain amount of irons, releases, that will come out in -1 temperatures on the course rather than the warmth of an indoor simulator to test. One of them brands just happened to be Mizuno, and I've got their new irons. As you can see right there, the new 2.4 range, if you want to call it that. 241, 243, 245. Now, at first glance, they look pretty similar, almost identical, apart from a few little cosmetic text changes and movements to the older brothers now, the 221s, 223 and 225s. But there are some slight changes aesthetically and a little bit tech-wise that they've made to this new range. So let's get into it. So we have a mirror image release of the 221s in the 2.4 range. So the 241 is your traditional blade, the 243 is your cavity back, your 245 is your hollow bodied cavity back, pretty much, all having very different characteristics. This is the first swing of the day, so I'm going to start with the all confidence inspiring 245, and I'll talk you through the differences if you're thinking of maybe going to buy these for yourself. Right, 245 first, most confidence inspiring. For that reason there. For that reason right there is why, if you are a higher handicap golfer, you probably want to be looking at the 245s. We move on to the 243s. Wouldn't say they look much different at address. Again, quite a chunky top line, not too chunky. Mizuno's actually dimmed that down a little bit, but again, not too daunting. Caught that a bit heavy, but we've got away with it. Then we move on to the one that, as blades go, isn't crazy daunting, but the 241, the pure muscle back, the Japanese forged, famous Mizuno blade. But if you find the middle, Christ alive, does it feel good. Oh yes. So first of all, shout out Mizuno, Dave and the team, Mizuno Golf Europe, for sending out their irons for us to test. We appreciate it. First initial thoughts, I'm not going to lie to you all, I've hit these at the range already. The 245, which I'm going to sort of like dive into a little bit later on in this video, is one of the most impressive irons I've hit for a multitude of different reasons. 243, if I'm being completely honest, I gained the 221s and the 223s for a large part of last season. We're not seeing crazy differences, and of course, as you'd expect, in the 241, the blade, there's not really much they can change or probably want to change in that iron. But the 245, for me, has improved quite significantly from the 225. Let's finish this par 5 with them balls. 3 down the fairway, which is a good start. The one thing I would have liked to have seen a little bit more out of Mizuno, not with the blades, because again, I'm a firm believer of blades should be blades. Mizuno are famous for their blades, the MP range. They moved away from the MP range, now they're back. Mizuno Pro stands for MP, or the other way around. So I agree, there shouldn't be mass changes to the blades, but I would have liked to have seen a slight cosmetic change in maybe the 243, because the 245 is a hollow body. And why I think the 245s is so good is because how it blends into the 241. So we all like to have nice looking golf clubs. We all like to look down at our golf clubs, and we don't want them to be the chunkiest, ugliest, most game improvement things if we are slightly higher handicaps. We still want something that looks sleek and presentable, and the 245 is just that. At first glance in the golf bag, you honestly wouldn't be able to tell if it was a blade or a hollow cavity construction, and I think that's really cool. First ball here is definitely 243, didn't hit it very well. All right, so I'm gonna go 7-iron rather than 5. Just knock this up just short of that bunker on the right. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful golf shot. And what Mizuno are saying about their new 243 range is from their 4 through to 7-iron, they've actually put the centre of gravity a little bit deeper to what was in their 221s, just to help promote a little bit of ball speed, a little bit of launch, but they've left, which I'm happy with, which I think a lot of people who are looking for that very middle ground between blade and big, chunkier cavity back, is that they've left the 8-iron, 9-iron and pitching wedge, and if you do spec a sand wedge as well, as very traditional. So centre of gravity more where it would be in a traditional club, just to help with like promoting a little bit more of a penetrating ball flight. They're also saying that they've thinned out the top line on these golf clubs, the 243s. I've actually got my 223 in the bag, which I'll just show you a direct comparison to now. I haven't actually noticed the top line being noticeably thinner. So as you can see there, looks wise, from behind, they're almost identical. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. All right, so 241 was struck right out of the middle, buttoned. I couldn't hit it much better. The 243 was hit terribly. And just to note, it was only about 10 yards further on the 241 than the 243. And that's where the sort of forgiveness is going to play in. As I said at the start of this, these Mizuno Pro 241 blades, although they're blades, it's not a crazy daunting blade. It's a beautiful blade. Personally, in my opinion, it's all personal opinion, I think one of the best, if not the best looking blade on the market. But when it comes to actual size, it's not one that you're going to pick up in the pro shop and be like, fucking hell, this is a butter knife. You're going to pick it up and think, do you know what, that actually looks like I could hit that, but it's just not going to have that same forgiveness as what the 243 and the 245 possesses. It just doesn't have that technology in there. There isn't space in this head. This is a forged piece of metal. There isn't space in this head to be able to give you that forgiveness. Now, what is different between 241 and 221? Pretty much nothing. They've used tour feedback, so the guys they've got on tour, Keith Mitchell, Marco Penge, all of their players, Luke Donald, how can I forget Luke Donald? And they've just slightly redesigned the shape, the sole shape, the top line, but it remains pretty much identical looking than the 221. The only difference is, again, is 241 is no longer up on the blade, it's actually on the shaft. So not the most daunting to hit. Let's hit this 7-iron. Touch heavy, not bad though. But then that leads us on to the 245. It's got about 20 yards, 15, 20 yards further than the other two. 243 wasn't hit well, 221 was ripped. The lofts are obviously stronger. 245 launching at 30 degrees on a 7-iron, 243 32 degrees, 241 34 degrees traditionally. So as you go through the sets, they go 2 degrees stronger as you progress from 241 down to 245. This 7-iron, with how these come off, might actually get on the dance floor. Let's have a look. Ripped it. It's just left of the flag though. Go. Oh, what a bounce. An icy winter bounce. These irons are good though. So in the 245, we're getting a hollow body construction, a cavity back between the 2-iron, because obviously these goes into driving irons as well, from the 2-iron down to 8-iron. In the 7-iron through to 2-iron, you're getting a little bit more tungsten weight as well. So you're actually getting a 47 gram tungsten weight in those irons just to help with that launch. 243 there, 241 there, 245 past pin eye. And I think everyone will be pleased to know that the old slogan, which I mention all the time, which is nothing feels like a Mizuno, is still remaining. Nothing does feel like a really well struck Mizuno. Definitely the blades. But the reason the 245s have impressed me so much from the times that I've been down the range and hit them is because the feel off of the face of these 245s, and I've tried hollow body construction irons before, they're the closest thing you're going to get to a game improvement iron with the feel of a completely forged blade. Now Mizuno have something called harmonic impact technology, I think it's called, and they can make the face as thin as guidelines, the golfing guidelines will allow them to go. But the feel off of the face of these is honestly incredible. Not only that, getting them in and out of my bag with the 241s in there, I genuinely sometimes pull out the wrong 9-iron, 7-iron, 5-iron because they look that similar to the blades. I think they've done an incredible job with these. Got a par 3 here, going to hit the 9-iron into the pin of all 3 of the clubs, but honestly the 245s, for you higher handicappers out there, or mid handicappers as well, you can blend these into a set, but if you was to get a full set of these, honestly, they are so easy to hit. They sound so good off of the face and they feel incredible. These are the real winners, I think, out of the 2-4 family, I'm going to call it, the 2-4 family, yeah, 24 family. The 245s are genuinely really impressive. So I don't even know if it's going to stop on these greens because they're not forward out, but I'm going to start with the 241. Imagine I just hold it on the first shot. I mean, they're not going to stop, the greens aren't forward out, but That landed exactly pin high. 243, I think probably behind the golf ball would be most people's favourite in terms of like top line and shape. It's got like the in-between thickness of top line between the 241 and the 245. It sits beautifully behind the ball at address, and as you can see, sort of the face design there, it's chrome around the outside there, sort of forged around the outside, and the face is highlighted, which most golf clubs are, but on a new shiny iron, it highlights the ball really nicely. Let's come off a little bit hotter. Sit down. That's just bounced into the bush behind the green. And then 245, which again looks incredible behind the ball, but it's more lofted towards what I would usually play closer to a 7-iron. So you see how soft I've just hit that. It's come out a lot lower, sit, bounce on the green, and pissed off. I'm going to hit a few more and then get down to the green. We'll go over to UK Golf Academy. I'll give you the numbers on all of these irons and we'll wrap this up. Go. Dunk, dunk. Oh! So we'll quickly head over to UK Golf Academy to their sim, put it on the GC quad. We'll get some numbers with all of these clubs for you. They're really, really good irons. They're not crazy leaps and bounds better than the older brothers now, the 221, 223, 225. The 245 is definitely an improvement from what I hit last year, even if it's just for a slightly more redefined look and a much softer forged feel off the face. But what you're getting in the 241 is the same as what you get in the 221 blade, apart from just, as is always with blades, a slight tour opinion put into the shaping of them. The 243, again, slight changes in technology with regards to how they're using the tungsten weight and giving it a little bit more ball speed, a little bit of a thinner face, but as a whole, very, very similar irons. But what Mizuno do incredibly well is they make incremental changes, small little changes progressively, which keeps them, in my opinion, at the very top of the iron game. Let's head over to UK Golf Academy, get some data on these, because I'm intrigued at just how far this 245 will actually go. I think the 243 and 221 will give us quite honest numbers, but this 245, if you're someone looking for a bit of ball speed, you're someone looking for a little bit of launch, this could be the one for you. Let's get over to UK Golf Academy. So numbers, just to keep you guys in the loop, were as expected, to be honest, but what was really, really good was the consistency, and it was like down to almost a yard with the 241 and even the 243. So 241 being the blades, a 9-iron is at 163 yards total carry, 9,000 spin, 125 mile an hour ball speed, which is pretty much bang on where we'd want to see it. 7-iron, 187 yard carry, 7,300-ish on average yards, revs per minute spin, 133 mile an hour ball speed, again perfect. 5-iron, 198 carry, 5,900 spin, 141 mile an hour ball speed. Perfect. Onto the 243. 9-iron, again, you're going to see incremental jumps in carry, lower spin. Yeah, 9-iron 167 in the 243, 8,400 spin, so slightly less than what was in the 241, 128 mile an hour ball speed. 7-iron 193 yards on the carry, 6,700 spin, 139 mile an hour ball speed, and then 5-iron 207 yards on the carry, 5,000 spin on average. It was just above 5,000, 145 mile an hour ball speed. So I would say the irons that I currently use at the moment, the T100s, they kind of fall into that, closer to that. It was really like in between the 241 and the 243. Finally going into the 245s, 9-iron 173 yards, so it's starting to get out there. Spin drops down quite a lot, 7,600, ball speed 140 miles an hour or just underneath. So 7-iron 203 yards on average carry, 5,900 spin, so spinning closer to a 6-iron. It's kind of, that's the loft that it's more towards. 144 mile an hour ball speed. And then finally 5-iron 224 yards on the carry, 4,100 spin, so spinning closer to a 4-iron and just under 150 mile an hour ball speed. So they're just very, very good irons. If you've enjoyed this review, subscribe to our channel. Make sure you like this video, share it with your friends. You should definitely be going to test 241, 243 or 245. Extremely good irons, but what do you expect from Mizuno? You know what they say? Nothing feels like a Mizuno. Guys, we'll see you in the next one. Adios.